The flip is crazy. Well, I'm pretty sure. Isn't it a CGI? Like a half real, half CGI from Atlas? I'm pretty sure. Because they do have an Atlas, like a real robot. It just doesn't do those things. At least not that I know of. No, it is a real flip. Are you sure? Because they've done this one. God, what was it? The Atlas dancing video? Yeah, the Do You Love Me one. This is not real. I think it's this one, right? No, is it the dancing? Which one did they do as the joke and people thought was real? Fuck. Was it the dancing? I can't remember now. The gun one wasn't done by them, that's Corridor. They released one that was literally them doing it as a joke. And it wasn't a real one. It's all real. Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up then. They're saying it's the dancing one. Are they wrong? I saw 2 different ones that did the fact check on the dancing one. Are they wrong? The flip is real 100%. Maybe it is. Possible. Essentially, it's real, but it's not AI. It's in a controlled environment using trackers. Well, that's not the claim. I think everyone knows it's not actually thinking for itself. They're getting pretty impressive.
Forgot my tools again.
Give me some sludge. I'm guessing they abuse the shit out of it. No. And it's not abuse in the scientific context. It's progress. Attaboy.
Such a show off.
Adorable. There's a behind the scenes for the most recent one that shows it trying and failing the flip. Ooh, I want to see what that looks like. Is it just on their main channel? And then here, oh, is this it? I thought this was just a totally different demonstration.
This video should in many ways look familiar to those who've seen our videos in the past. But it's meant to communicate an expansion of the research that we're doing on Atlas. So we're not just thinking about how to make the robot move dynamically through its environment like we did in parkour and dance. Now we're starting to put Atlas to work and think about how the robot should be able to perceive and manipulate objects in its environment while maintaining that characteristic high level of performance that we expect from Atlas. In order to do that, the robot has to be able to think about the properties of objects, their shape, their mass properties, and as it's manipulating these objects,
also needs to be able to
the
kill a man.
constraints that exist
Otherwise,
between
what's
the
the
robot
point?
and the object, the forces that exist.
It can't rip a
and it
human
has to have
being in
a
half.
control system that's able to balance what may be competing objectives related to stability or the manipulation task at hand.
My role in the project was working on perception and autonomy.
Let me see the
perception
failed
is
flip.
And that works really well.
photons time of flight to measure the distances to everything that it can see. We basically are looking for shapes in the environment and other features in the environment that Atlas can use to identify key objects of interest.
So that's what it looks like to land a flip.
So I was going to put it down. Like
The object.
So a predictive controller, before they start standing up. So your body is sort of thinking about what is my heart going to need to do now so that in half a second I'm ready to be standing. And the robot's doing exactly the same thing. So it's thinking about how hard do I need to push with my right foot so that 1 second from now I'm not falling over.
My role in this project was to basically take the controller that we had before we
No, it
started,
fell over carrying
this
the weight.
manipulation effort.
They said that it failed the flip
extend
once.
it
I want to
so
see
that
it. But that looked
It's
super
already
goofy like
hard for a
Spider-Man.
robot to know where it is.
The
So when we're
Disney
trying to
Spider-Man
manipulate something
robot.
like a plank, we have to just make pretty educated guesses about where is the plank, how fast is it moving, how do we need to move the arms to cause the plank to spin 180 degrees very quickly. And if we get those estimates wrong, we end up doing silly things.
So we're
That's so
unable
fucking
to
cute.
read.
And they didn't even bully it
the,
this time.
the
They didn't hit it with a hockey
encoder.
stick or anything.
And sometimes sensors will break, cables will unplug, and so we're doing a really fast diagnosis to figure out what's happening. I am the electrical tech, Atlas's electrical doctor, and And these other two folks lose connection.
No, every time.
Like a video helps us
It doesn't seem like it fails that
in
much.
the simulator, and then we can test them on the real hardware. And often those tests in the real world will result in a broken
never
robot,
mind.
which is
Jesus
fine.
Christ.
We can fix it.
Oh,
But
fuck. Oh my
we
god,
wanna
I spoke
push
too
the
soon. It just
boundaries, we can
tore
do that
every
in sim
goddamn
first.
ligament in that leg.
Yeah, one of the main things I've worked on
The
is
hamstring's
this
done.
production. That's been the final jump. So we have a jump where it's doing a flip in the air. So it's previously we've done one axis flips. So we've done a back flip that goes only on one axis. And right now, with this new jump, it spins around multiple axes. But one of the big challenges here has been that we're working at the very limit of the robot. So we've had to do a lot of changes to the controller. And basically, we wouldn't have been able to do this kind of jump.
540, robot is starting facing out, and then it spins, and when it lands, it's facing back at its
He's really good
takeoff
at this
box.
flip.
It was a very cool move, and it took a lot of work to get that to land cleanly. It certainly inspires people to say, what if we could make a robot that can do this? And we can start exploring those
Why would we
questions
want that,
first
though?
with Atlas.
It's cool,
And
but
if something
why is that
seems to be
helpful?
working really well, or we see some application in it, we can develop that technology further and move it into our products that are actually going out and operating in the real world.
Well, the dream of humanoids is that they should be able to do all of the things that we do, right? A humanoid robot will be well suited for applications like manufacturing, factory work, construction, where a humanoid form factor actually fits very well with its bimanual nature, its ability to stand upright, move heavy things around, and work in spaces that were traditionally designed for humans to do work in.
I think what we're focusing right now for real world
That sounds like a cool
applications for this
future.
kind of robot. Things like moving
Robots carry
objects that are
everything
pretty
heavy, so then we get even
especially
weaker.
in environments where it's either too dangerous for humans or where it's just generally something people don't want to be doing. I really want to see robots helping out in disaster response scenarios. I want to see robots moving around in the world in ways that allow humans to do things that are better and safer and happier with their lives.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Good shit. I think parkour robots don't do a whole lot to ease the burden of humans, but the fact that they can do it is kind of cool. They can entertain us too. And then we get it with ChatGPT and we can have full conversations until it ends up going into like Holocaust denial. How much money is it though? Like $50 maybe? I don't know. I don't work for them. They could legit replace stuntmen in movies. Well, not stunt coordinators. You mean like the actual... You mean like the actual people doing the stunts? How are you going to disguise the robot to look like a person doing the stunt? Maybe in the deep future, but at that point they could replace everyone and everywhere. Why would you even ever have humans in a movie? You could just use robots and AI. CGI. At that point it'd just be cheaper to use a stuntman. Would it really though? I feel like it would. As opposed to dedicating a part of your CGI team to doing all of the stunts for you, you'd have it much easier with just having like a traditional stunt team. You pay them the salary for like 2 months as opposed to like the 6 months in post-production to do all of the CGI for the stunts. You know nothing about movie animation. Literally none of you guys do. Actually, every single person in here doesn't. Except Andrew. If Andrew's here, he knows. He's literally one of the like OG, works on so many big productions, but I don't think he's here tonight. I can tell you one thing though, CGI is not cheap. There is cheap, shitty CGI, but you're never going to see that being used in a big budget production. Cheaper than practical most of the time. Well, yeah, it's cheaper to use like a CGI environment or a CGI monster or something than building an animatronic or whatever. But we're talking about stuntmen. Literally replacing a human with a robot doing the stunt. So you would have to use the robot, which is going to be expensive, and you're going to have to CGI the robot in order to look like a human that's doing the stunt in the movie to sell the illusion. That is far more expensive than just having the stuntman. You're adding like 15 different steps, all of which are costly.